Ah. Alright then. In accordance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, this channel is not to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Dragon King Mark here, and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong. Last we left off, we finally wrapped up the interrogation and learned what this is all about. Apparently, we are being put in a task force with the cops in order to find out about Chief Inspector Crate, who has gone dirty. So, after talking with Kindly Chang and our crew, we agreed that we're going to go through with it. But before we go ahead and tell the Chief Inspectors, let's go ahead and do some housekeeping. By that, I mean check out everything that we need to check out. Pay data, nothing. Crowdfund my Vladivostok trip. A lot of you already know me, but for those who don't, I'm Icy Sasha, Russian native. I've been decking HK for over a decade. I have a business opportunity in my hometown, Vladivostok, and I started a Pay My Way campaign to cover a no-frills round trip ticket. Please support me. Oh god, they got PayPal here. You're a pal and all, but why don't you just save up your new yen like the rest of us? What's this business opportunity if it doesn't actually pay your way? Got any bonus funding goals? Good questions, good questions. Well, Panda Tax, I hope to move back to Vladivostok. My opportunity is a contact with a megacorp that does not have a presence in that city yet. But if it works, it will be a very good for my contact, and very, very good for me. Bonus goal will be a one-way ticket to Vladivostok. So, I'll be delighted to spread the word to everybody, and I mean everybody. I know. Transferring creds now. I see you're not skipping town without clearing your mahjong debt to me, are you? It's, another one of my bonus goals. I'm paying you a visit, I see. Oh, God. Trying to skip town with debt to pay? Never do that. You always pay your debts before you go. Ticking mystery box for sale. I've got a mystery item secured in a metal alloy casing, freshly liberated from a Yamatetsu warehouse. It wasn't ticking before, but it is now, since it survived the bumpy motorboat chase. I figure it's safe, since I don't have the engineering chops to liberate it properly. I'm going to the highest bidder. So it could be a beyond bleeding edge biotech prototype, or it could kill you. Have I got that right? If you don't like it, don't bid. I do this all the time, man. People love surprises. It's fundamentally no different from a grab bag. Except for the possible death part. Seriously, who's plunkered down neon on unidentified stolen goods? I've got the winning bid on a Fuji rattling container giant box of Allen wrenches. Wampoa 2056. I want a vibrating briefcase taken from a high-tech Ares scientist's office. Inside there was, well, something you wouldn't expect to find in the workplace. Use your imagination. Ew. Anyway, it was in good shape, so I re-gifted it. And I'm out. Looking for romance. Wiry, handsome expat male looking for passionate encounters, not picky, M or F. I enjoy hitting the night markets when I'm not tinkering with my drone or infiltrating AAA megacorps. No smoking, no recreational drugs, in professional capacity, okay? Flexibility a must. Sometimes you need to cancel dates at the last minute due to gig/incarceration. First aid skills, a plus. How's the dating here in HK? Just arrived in town. Got any tips? Where can I go to find that special gal? Honestly, HK is better for fleeing liaisons and long-term engagements. You should check out Frolic and Lan Kwai Fong. The music's loud and freaky, and so are the clubbers. This scene can be a little rough, though. I hooked up with this crazy elf there once, and every time I run my hands over the scar tissue, it really brings back memories. It's not for everyone, though. Plus, I'm now partially deaf. Have you tried Happy Valley? I'm not even kidding. Very intense long-term relationships can spring up from the heart-pounding thrills of the racetrack. Well, you can always try romancing somebody on your team, if you've got one. Shudder. Now that's a bad idea. Give me Matrix dating any day. Vultures in the walled city. I just listened to corporate suits scuffing around the walled city. Gentrification crapathon imminent, and the rebels barely settled in the slum. So the moment that life takes a turn for the better in the walled city, some corpse smells a profit and moves in. Appalling. Bet they buy out the tenements, tear them down, and build a luxury coffin apartment complexes in a helipad so the well-heeled don't have to tread through the filth at street level. What about the Yellow Lotus? Can't see a triad corp letting a corp waltz in and demolish a source of revenue without so much as a whimper. So that's the thing. Bao's guys are nowhere to be seen. You know, some red envelopes changed hands. New talks, but the suit still bought plenty of private muscle. Clearly not taking any chances. Did Bao sell out? No way. Maybe he must have gotten his guys out of there, or maybe they died during the thing with Quan Ya. Oh. A grainy video feed pops into your screen. The smiling face of your adopted father, Raymond Black, fills the frame. He looks tired, but stronger than you remember him. The flesh of his cheeks is firmer, and his skin less sallow. Returning to Seattle appears to have done him a world of good. Shen, hey viewer, I hope that this message finds you and Duncan well. I wanted to let you know that the treatments and therapy seem to be working. The brain injury that I suffered in Prosperity Tower will take a long time to fully recover from, but I appear to be walking the correct path. I wish that you and your brother could come back to Seattle again. It feels like we've left so much unfinished with you in Hong Kong and be here, half a world away. He looks away, and the smile drops from his face. His next words are choked with grief. It's my fault that you're condemned to a life in the shadows. You went to Hong Kong to help me, and it cost you your freedom. That is a burden that I will carry until the end of my days. He clears his throat, forces a weak smile into his face. My apologies. I did not intend to make you sit through an old man's maudlin ramblings. And now I'm afraid that I must go. It is time for another of my treatments. He taps his temple with a bony finger. They've already cured my stutter. Let's hope that they can do the same for my melancholy mood, eh? Take care of yourself, Shen. You and Duncan both. I will message again when I can. Until then, keep safe and do your best to stay out of trouble. Goodbye. The message ends, returning you to the menu. It's good that Raymond's doing alright. I mean, I really am glad he's doing okay after all the crap he's been through. If we didn't stop Quan Ya and pull that switcheroo on her... I don't know. Senior Inspector Lamb. Gearing up. If you find yourself in need of gear or supplies before your run on the Tigers, then speak with Sergeant Lee. He's the task force's quartermaster, and he has been instructed to equip and supply you as if you were one of us. You'll still need to pay for your gear, but he has an extensive stock of security-rated firearms that might interest you. If you need medical supplies or cybernetic enhancements, you'll find automated kiosks in the yard that can serve your needs. For anything else, I'd recommend you talking to Captain Jomo. He can supply you with whatever we can. I'd only ask that you keep your business between yourselves, and that you leave me out of it. Even if you feel prepared, I'd recommend that you look at what the yard has to offer before you head to the Tiger's Den. It's better to be over-prepared than it is to get caught flat-footed. Best of luck, Lamb. -1. So yeah, now we're gonna have to, now we know who to talk to when we have to basically, you know, go and speak to people. Rector. Well, my friend, an interesting turn of events to be sure. It is not every day that we find ourselves the victims of kidnapping. Tell me about it. This kind of thing happened every day. I can't imagine we'd find much work. The corner of his mouth lifts into a wry smile. No, I should think not. And now we find that Canli Chang wants us to work with the swine who kidnapped us. Such a pity. Under ordinary circumstances, I would already have unleashed Koshie upon our captors to rip open their bellies and bathe in the viscera. I want Crate dead too, so we use these situations to our advantage like we always do. Yes, my friend, you are of course correct. Now, is there anything else that I can help you with, or did you just come by for a friendly chat? What do you intend to do after we finish this? He shrugs. I suspect that I'll return to what I was doing before we got press ganged into working with the HKPF. I will Shadowrun for funds and entertainment and spend my spare hours working on and refining my mechanical counterpart. Koshei scurries forward and Ractor rests his hand on the drone's chassis. The drone rubs up against his leg like a dog, light glinting off of the smooth contours of its hard body. Always a work in progress, don't you know? How can he not be? To improve Koshei is to improve the best part of myself. So you're saying you'll never be finished with Koshei? I sincerely doubt it. Koshei is my masterpiece, and I will continue to refine him until I die. He smiles, his eyes twinkling. But that's assuming that I fail to achieve immortality, of course. And that is far from a foregone conclusion, I assure you. And what about you, my friend? Do you have any grand ambitions to share? If so, share them. I am all ears. Can't say what my plans are for certain. We'll just have to see how this thing plays out. A fair answer. I suppose that we shall have to wait and see for ourselves. He gives his cigarette a tap, and the ash that clings to the tip spills onto the floor. Let us change the subject, eh? The future can wait. I'm sure that there are many more pressing matters that we can discuss. Out of curiosity, are you still playing around with those stimulus generators in your brain? I wouldn't say that I was playing around with them, no. I'm constantly using them to fine-tune my brain's stimulus responses, of course, but that hardly constitutes play. I see. And what have you been doing with them recently? For the past week or so, I've been experimenting with synesthesia, training my brain to associate certain colors with certain tastes, sounds with touch, that sort of thing. He snapped his fingers. You hear that? Just a click, yes? But something else to you? Oh, it's still a click. But when I hear the sound, I also feel a tingle in my spine, and my tongue registers the flavors of bourbon and strawberries. Huh. Neat. That was just a small taste, my friend. Soon I will know enough to push the limits of the system, and that is where the practical applications come in. Imagine the combat advantages if the sound of Koshei's claws on steel produced a palpable sense of well-being. Or if I could judge the severity of a bullet wound by the volume of the pinging in my ear. Yeah, I get it. Just be careful, Ractor. This feels like playing with fire to me. Of course, my friend. Always. You have nothing to fear from me. What? Oh, wait. Ractor was with us in the last round. Let's ask. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Gotta run. Later. Gaichu. Hello, my friend. Was there something else? How are you holding up with all this? Gaichu shrugs and waves a hand in the direction of the door. Duplicitous corporate managers, triad gangsters, or police. What really is the difference? None can be truly trusted fully. Each one would sell us out in a heartbeat if it benefited them in the long run. Yet I continue to be paid, and so I will remain. Do not be fooled by our benefactors. If everything they wanted were to be granted to them, and they could earn promotions by arresting or killing us, they would. Money and power rule the sea and everyone in it. It is a ravenous maw that devours the weak. I care little for their aims, other than I can profit from them. What about Crate? Revenge for what she did? What she did to you. I never knew Carter, and I had a bounty on my head long before we ever met, simply because I am a ghoul. Fundamentally, Crate is no more responsible for what happened to you than those who followed her orders. She received her orders from Josephine Sang, as we do from our clients. Revenge has no place in the shadows, unless the slight was personal. Crate's actions were simply business. The ghoul lifts his chin, taking a deep breath through his nose. Where you go, I will follow. My only counsel at the time is to be cautious and watch your back, and be prepared to have a way out. What do you think of our benefactors? I wonder if they did not overstate the danger of creating the Special Duties Unit. I do not fear much, especially not a SWAT team. I believe that they are overstating the danger that she poses to us during the riots. Certainly she is dangerous, but then, so are most of the enemies we faced. Consider it. We thwarted a double-A corporation, survived the police APB, started and stared down a god of death from beyond the depths of known astral space. A SWAT commander seems to pale in comparison, don't you think? He's got a point. As for our benefactors, keep your eyes open. For all of her foul-mouthed posturing, I admire Connie Chang's insistence that we trust no one but her. I do not trust Queer Lam. His enthusiasm is cloying and false. Queer is a corporate soldier and would not, no doubt, execute us without a second thought if she were ordered to. Believe me, I'm keeping a close watch on them. Good. I will endeavor to be ready for any duplicity should it arise. Talk to you later, Gaichu. So yeah, I had plans on buying Pathfinder from Gamefly. Yeah, there's a snag. The codes won't work. Apparently the $5 stuff is only for used games, and $25 I'd have to put in for a keep. I'd have to rent the game, which I am gonna do. I just need Gamefly to get the games I sent a few weeks ago. They haven't gotten it back yet. They'll get it. Make it quick, will ya? What'd you think of that last run? Where the hell to begin? A vein above his ear bulges as he tries to control his mounting rage. No, what I should be asking is where did things go south? From what these investigators are saying, it sounds like they were tracking us, watching us until opportunity arose to... What the fuck is this, a kidnapping? Were we kidnapped? Pretty much. This is bullshit. He absentmindedly rests his hand on top of his holster. We still don't have any real say in this. We walk away and Crate's troops jump us. We stay here and our every move gets monitored. Sure, we stand to lose more if Crate gets us, but staying here is like being prisoners with off-site permissions. That isn't how I want to live. He lets loose a long sigh, composes himself. Don't know what we can do about it. We weren't given much of a choice, but if you think of anything, I'm all ears. We done here? Gotta run. Later. Alright. Isabel raises her visor. What's up? Ever play any video games on that monstrosity of a terminal? Fuck no. Cockpus isn't for video games. And besides, I have better things to do than fight make-believe digital enemies. Fighting real digital enemies is way more satisfying. You never played a game? You've never played a game on the Octopus? Not even? Not ever? Not a video game, no. She looks away. Like I said, I'm not a fan. There's gotta be something. If you could play any game right now, what would it be? Hide and seek. She points towards the door. You go hide, I'll stay here and count. She leans toward you. To 1,000,000. She leans in further. In binary. I shouldn't have asked. Sorry. She crosses her arms. I don't play games. Her eyes level with yours. Any more questions? What'd you think of that last run? We really botched that one, didn't we? Literally walked right into the cop's hands. She clucks her tongue, the regret playing on her face. She doesn't bother with to hide her sarcasm. Hello again to the second viewer that just dropped. Couldn't have imagined a better outcome. Try to look on the bright side. We're being given a chance to take down the person responsible for a lot of our grief. Sounds more like an opportunity to put our necks on the line, and with less than fantastic odds. Let's just hope that these investigators know what they're doing. Any more questions? That's all for now. See ya. Goblet. Is that the noodle machine from DECCON? It's warm to the touch. Goblet's cabin looks clearer than you remember it. Turning your head, you discover the reason why. The mountains of dirty laundry and food packaging that usually lie strewn across the floor have been gathered into an impressive mound in the corner. Manus and Folly scurry along the perimeter of the heap, sporadically ducking into and out of the layers of discarded clothing. It's looking good, holding its shape even. She chews her lip contentedly. A couple more pizza boxes to help distribute the load, and I can move right in. Gobbet, what are you doing? Meditating, kind of. I'm communing with Rat. She frowns, raises a hand as she fishes for the right words. You know, it's like I'm getting my head right. Considering all that's just happened, it seemed like the right thing to do. You're communing with Rat by piling garbage in the corner? clean garbage. It's all perfectly hygienic, and I'm not piling it. I'm making myself a nest. It's what Rat would do in our situation. See, the only thing that Rat likes less than a wide open space is living in captivity. I'm right there with her on that. The whole getting gassed and waking up in a cage thing has me a little on edge. I'm getting closer to Rat by making myself a solution, just like she would. She kicks the base of the mound of clothing. The entire thing shudders and collapses in a heap on the ground. Looks like it needed more cardboard. Frowning deeply, she heaves a sigh. I broke my kingdom for a couch cushion, you know? Maybe a nice ottoman? Something that can support more weight. I'll keep my eyes open. Maybe one of the boats they've impounded here has a futon or something. No, it's okay, don't bother. She turns away from the now ruined pile of laundry and refuse, rubbing the bridge of her nose between her thumb and forefinger. The magic is gone anyway. So anyway, was there something that you wanted, Seattle? If not, I'm all ears. Hey, Gobbit? Is that the DECCON noodle extruder? She gives the looming machine an uncertain glance. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. What is it doing here? Your guess is as good as mine. Sure as hell wasn't in my cabin before we left for combat pangs. I can't imagine why the cops would put it here. She bites her lip, a nervous expression on her face. Maybe it followed us home from DECCON. Followed us home? How could it... I don't know, alright? It's just... here. Waiting. Waiting? For what? I don't know, alright? I don't know. Let's change the subject, okay? Maybe if we ignore it, it'll go away. How are you doing with all of... this? I don't know. About as well as can be expected, I guess. How about you? How are you dealing with it? You got it worse than any of us, what with the magical torture and your right locked in the box and all. And your night locked in the box and all. Don't worry about me, Gobbit, I'll be fine. Hands on her hips, she gives you a single solemn shake of her head. Stop, can't help it, you're a friend. Sorry, I can't help it. You're a friend, so I worry. That comes as part of the package. With that being said, I do believe you when you say you'll be alright. She offers you a lopsided smile. I mean, that we all will. I think that we all will. I mean, if we could see what we saw in the walled city and come through alright, we could do the same here, right? Right. Of course I'm right. We're certified Yama King killing badasses. We'll be fine. What do you think of that last run? Well, I'm not super pleased about it, to be honest. I mean, it was supposed to be a quick and easy run, but look how it turned out. I thought you were okay with Queen Lam's plan. You wanted to get revenge for Nightjar, right? Yeah, of course I do. This doesn't mean that I'm happy about everything that happened to bring us here. We were gassed, Seattle, kidnapped, and we didn't even get any of Pang's chicken wings. As Shadowruns go, that was some bullshit. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Got any more questions for me? If so, go ahead, I'm all ears. I gotta run later. Alright, we have officially done everything with the crew. Let's go ahead and talk with our guys, or with the people here. I'm still surprised that they were able to tow the Defiance, honestly. Like, how? We also gotta figure out where the hell Jomo is. He should be around here somewhere. Command trailer. Kiosks. Yep, this is an impound lot. But yeah, I wasn't able to. I thought I was gonna be able to buy Pathfinder today, but if I bought it full price since it's new, I would have to pay $51.01. No way in hell. My folks are cheap. We are cheap like that in this house. Welcome back. Did you talk over the job with your crew? Yep. And my boss. We've decided to help you. Queen rubs the bridge of her nose between her thumb and forefinger. We'll be holding you to that. Don't worry about me. When I take a contract, I don't break it. Good to hear. Now let's get to it. You want to get us started, Fiona? A hand goes up reflexively touch the pendant that hangs from her neck. She nods and turns to you. Alright, pay attention, Shadowrunner. I don't want to have to repeat myself. Yeah, I'm listening. We know that Crate and her people are dirty, but we don't have any ironclad proof. We have to get her something concrete if we want to move on her. Got it? Keep going. But you got someone on staff that can read people's minds, right? Just use him on her next time she goes to sleep. Problem solved. She shakes her head. Can't do it. The station that Crate lives in works out of is shielded against magical intrusion. We couldn't get one of our people in for more than a visit. Even if a task force mage did manage to read Crate's mind, the results wouldn't be admissible in court. And she'll know that she'd been scanned. Magical interrogation hurts. It hurts. Tell me something I don't know. Kui's right. We can't take any magical shortcuts to getting the information we need. If we could, we'd have done it already. What we need to do is gather solid, tangible evidence of Crate's wrongdoing. Financial records, written communications, video feeds, that sort of thing. We already know where that proof is being held, but we can't get to it without tipping our hand. And that's where you come in. Just tell me what you need me to do. Crate likes to keep her people close to her. They've consolidated their power into a single police station along the harbor. She leans over and pulls up an image on her terminal. An aerial holopic of a squat building crowded up against the water's edge. There it is. An old SDU headquarters and Crate's current base of operations. They call it the Tiger's Den. Any special significance to that name? It's a throwback to the old days before the Executive Council took over. Back then, the SDU were colloquially known as the Tigers or the Flying Tigers. Had patches on their uniforms and everything. When Mitsuhama took over the HKPS contract, they did away with a lot of the old symbols. But in this case, the nickname stuck. We're gonna get you into the station, and you're going to liberate the information that we need. Then we're gonna take Crate and her people down. Now, how do you suggest we get in? Through the front door? She shakes her head. Not quite. You and your team will be smuggled in via the loading dock. We've secured transport for you through an old associate of yours, a pirate and smuggler named Captain Jomo. I know him. He's a good man. Don't know if I go that far, but he's a competent smuggler, and that's what we need him for. That's what we need him for. We've already provided him with a copy of the station's timetable. He knows when they'll be flush with cops, and when they'll be running a skeleton crew. He'll time your arrival so that you'll have a minimum resistance to contend with. Your trusted intel on the inner workings of an HKPF station is a station to a pirate. Those protocols will be revisited soon enough, believe me. There are going to be a lot of changes inside the HKPF after we complete this mission, Mr. Long. I promise you that. After Jomo gets you to the docking area, our woman on the inside will let you into the complex. You need to make your way up to the administration level. That's where Crate's evidence room is located. We'll take a position near the station, and from there we'll monitor your progress. Monitor us? How? She lifts an object from the desk and tosses it to you. A portable surveillance device. Your team will be outfitted with mics, body cameras, and condition monitors before you leave. We'll have a clearer view of what's going on inside the station. So if we get into trouble, we can call the cavalry, then. Not so much, no. We can't send any of our own people into the station. The risks are just too high. We'll be watching you because this is our op. As long as you're inside, I need eyes on you for corporate oversight reasons. Rubbing her temple, she looks you in the eye. Mitsuhama has a financial stake in this operation going smoothly. I intend to make sure that it does. Got it? Don't worry, Kui, I won't screw up your expensive Shadowrun. I'm glad to hear that we understand each other. When you get to the admin level, you'll be stepping into the hostile territory. Kui and her people have more or less taken over the whole floor, and they won't think twice about putting a bullet in your head if they catch you there. If you encounter any resistance up there, you're going to have to shoot your way through it. They won't give you the chance to do anything else. I'll be calling in a favor of Mitsuhama to bring down the station's comms, so you won't need to worry about them calling for outside help. Anyone who's already in the building is your problem to deal with. You're okay with me killing cops? Those aren't good cops. They're Crate's people. Corrupt, violent, and dangerous. The kind of assholes that ruin the public's confidence in the HKPF and put the real constables' lives in danger. No, Sing-Sean, I don't mind if you shoot them. If I could get away with it, I'd take them out myself. Frowning, Lamb acquiesced. Going in quiet is safer, but go ahead if it comes to that. Do what you have to do. Once you get past any resistance that you meet up there, you're going to be heading to the evidence room. The proof that we need should be stored on a disk in there, or maybe in a terminal. You'll be looking for a log of bribes accepted by Crate in the SDU. We could also use any other proof of corruption you could find. Transaction records, archive communications between Crate and her clients, that kind of thing. You'll pull the evidence, get back to the boat, and return the package to us at the impound yard. We'll analyze it, and once we're sure that we've got her nailed, we'll make our move on Crate. Alright, so if I find the evidence room, grab the data that you need and get back to Jomo, he'll bring me back here to hand off the data. Think of the size, that's about the size of it. Think you can handle it? I expect it to be a challenge, but if it means payback for Crate, I can do it. Good. And it will, you'll see. We're all after the same thing here. If we work together, we can make it happen. If you need gear, talk to Sergeant Lee out in the yard. He's our quartermaster. I'm sure that Captain Jomo can hook you up with anything that Lee can't, including any additional personnel that you might need. The good captain asked about you, by the way. Wanted to have a word about some side work. That okay with you? You won't try to stop me from doing my own jobs on the side? As long as you keep them quick and concise, you can do your thing. We won't interfere. But our trust has limits. Don't even think about turning against us or sabotaging this operation. You won't like what happens if you do. We'll wait on you to launch the operation. We're on your timetable here. When you're ready, go talk to Jomo. We're all clear? We clear on all that? Yeah, we're clear. Good. We'll see you at Crate's compound then. And it looks like we got job offers now. Police constable. The constable standing before you is a rail thin with a wiry build and a lantern jaw. A pair of wire-rimmed glasses perched on the bridge of his nose, and his neck is wrapped in a sinuous tattoo. He glances up from his PDA, locking eyes with you. So, you're the person of interest that everyone's been talking about. I heard that Kui has big plans for you. You heard right. Lucky me, I guess. You are lucky. You get to walk back out here when this is all over. Most people in your line of work won't be given that opportunity. Yeah, I know. What can I say? I lead a charmed life. His lip curls into a half smile. Yeah, it seems that way. So is there anything I can do for you, runner? What's your name, constable? I go by Hui. You're Long, right? That's what it said on the forum. Yeah, that's me. Good to meet you, then. I don't get to talk to many people in your line of work. Not like this, anyway. Usually my talks with Shadowrunners have involved a lot of shouting and tasing, sometimes shooting. I'm a talker myself. This is an exchange of base. I was just passing by. Didn't mean to distract you. He shrugs. It's fine. It isn't like I was doing much anyway. Things are pretty quiet right now. I gotta go. He waves you away. Go on, then. Nice guy. Alright, here's the guy we need to speak with. Medical trailer. And here's the quartermaster. The task force quartermaster looks disarmingly nondescript in his standard issue uniform. His posture is rigid, his spine ramrod straight. He watches you with the eyes of color of wet clay, and the corner of his mouth curls into a smile. So you're the new talent, the Shadowrunner. He rubs his nose with his sleeve. The brass told me that you've got clearance to buy here, so your money's welcome. If you need supplies, I can outfit you for a reasonable price. He gestures at the array of gear behind him. There are racks and racks of weapons, all neatly maintained. Off to one side, a pile of reinforced Duraplast crates catches your eye. They all bear the HKPF insignia, but you can see stickers on their casings. Mitsuhama, HNK, Ares Arms. Look to be military surplus. Can't tell you everything, of course. There's some gear back there that's technically off limits to someone of your clearance level. Have a look, though. See if anything catches your eye, and if you're cleared for it, we'll talk price. What's in the crates over there? That's the stuff that I can't sell you. Not technically. We're talking about the big guns. The heavy ordnance. That kind of thing. He leans forward and lowers his voice. Of course, it's possible that an item or two could go missing, or that the numbers on my inventory sheet could be wrong, and the odds of that happening might increase if you did me a favor. Oh? And what kind of favor are we talking about? The kind that I can't trust my brothers in uniform to help me with. The kind that you go to a Shadowrunner for. You help me out, and it's possible that some of the merchandise could find its way from those crates to your boat. You can never tell. Describe in detail what you need me to do. A friend of mine is in trouble. Bad trouble. I'd be the first in line to help him myself, but my hands are tied. I know exactly what happened to him and why, but I can't interfere to help save his life. You help my friend, and maybe I'll forget to carry the one when I'm running out my next inventory control sheet. I've already done the legwork. You finish the job for me, see to it that my friend gets the help that he needs, and there'll be a nice payday in it for you. And maybe a clerical error or two related to the gear in those crates. You'll still have to pay for the gear, but I'll do the work to make sure that nobody notices it's disappeared. His finger dances over the touchscreen of his PDA. The screen flashes twice in response. Just forward you the pertinent details. You'll find them in your mission computer. Please don't drag your feet on this. My friend really is in terrible trouble, and he won't hold out much longer. Don't worry, you can count on me. Thanks. Now, you want to look at any of the gear that I've got on the rack? It's up to you, pal. Just say the word. I need supplies. Let me see what you got on the rack. What are you interested in? What got in terms of armor? Ceremonial combat garb. Oh, this is just like the high level stuff that you can get. Guns and grenades. Let's see. SMGs, shotguns, rifles. Yep, I got the best one. I need a strength 5 to use the Vindicator. But yeah, how'd you get involved in this task force? He shrugs. Got assigned to it the same way that most of the constables here were. Believe it or not, this wasn't a volunteer assignment for most of us. When the Executive Council hands you an edict, you follow it. Tell me yourself then, Sarge. He chuckles. I don't really think there's all that much to say. Been on the force for 22 years now, and I've been loaning out gear for most of it. Got a wife back home, a couple of kids. That's about it, really. Sen trails into an awkward silence. Look, I've never really been one for small talk. You want to talk about armor or armaments? What kind of Securitech fabric is best for stopping a ceramic knife? I'm your man. If you're looking for anything else, though, you're bugging up the wrong tree. Not trying to be unfriendly, mind you. I just not a people person, per se. Fair enough. To yourself. I'll see you later. Trench-coated man. A solitary man stands by the rear of the command trailer. He's got a PDA in one hand and a can of Harbin Ice brand beer on the other. His eyes are intense, and he taps rapidly on his PDA screen in between sips of the can. In addition, a peculiar odor lingers around the area. The stench could be described as fusion of custard, cinnamon, and raw sewage. 1 second, I'll be right with you. Gotta finish checking my fantasy urban brawl stats. He continues to tap away for a few moments, then slides the PDA into his hip pocket. Draining his beer, he crumples the can and tosses it into a nearby bucket that's already filled with it's overflowing with empty bottles. There we go. There we are. Apparently satisfied, he turns to face you. Now, what can I do for you? Who are you? You don't look like a cop. I'm not. He shrugs. But then again, neither are you. We're in the same boat. Freelancers that land in Kui need to get their job done. Now, I know what you're going to say. Working for the cops is strange for a freelancer, right? But I figure if it's a steady paycheck, so why not take the work when it's offered? Plus, it's safe here. It's not like I'm gonna get shot hanging around this impound lot. So what's it that you do then for them? Decking mainly. I guess it's the Wonder Twins couldn't get a state-of-the-art at-home decking support without raising a red flag to create their people. So they opted for an off-the-book solution, namely me. The name's Levick Stoles, by the way. St. John, but then you probably know that already. Yeah, I know who you are. Queen and Lam have been keeping tabs on you for a long time now. Longer than I've been here, really. With a little luck, your people will be able to get this whole situation wrapped up soon. Then I can collect the money I was promised and maybe get the hell out of Hong Kong for good. Cantonese accent doesn't sound local. He cocks his head, a surprised expression on his face. Good ear. I moved to Surabaya about 15 years ago, and I learned Cantonese from a neighbor. If my dialect sounds odd, that's the reason why. I never expected my Cantonese to come in handy, but here we are. Why learn the language if you didn't expect to use it? He arcs an eyebrow. Why do you buy a fire extinguisher if you don't expect to be on fire? Just in case, man. I speak 12 languages, including Yoruba, Salish, and Latvian. Hell, I even speak a little Basque. Try and get used out of that one. I'm good with languages. The ones I don't know, I chip when I have to. But it's better to know things that never come up than it is need to know something, and I have no idea what you're doing. Besides, I can order a beer anywhere in the world, guaranteed. Hell, on the off chance that your bartender only speaks Esperanto, I've still got you covered. What's that smell? Durian, want some? He snatches a plate of food from the chair next to him and holding it up toward you. The fleshy blobs of yellow pulp are definitely the source of the stench. As the platter gets closer, the odor smells of your nostrils. Cheese, raw ethanol, rotting onions, and raspberries, among others. Sure, why not? The fruit pulp is both sweet and tart, with overtones of stale rubber and old sweat socks. As the pulp slides down your throat, you feel a curious burning sensation. It's like you've just swallowed a shot of grain alcohol, but the aftertaste is a great deal to it, like custard. It's a wholly bizarre experience. There's nothing like durian in the entire world. It tastes amazing. You can use it to make so many different things. Crepes, pancakes, gelato, donuts, you name it. It's a shame that Queen and Lon don't like the smell. That's why they sent me out here. Said I was sticking up their trailer. Gee, I can't imagine why. Haha. Some of us are just have more sophisticated taste than others. Why are you in Hong Kong if you want to leave? Levick rubs the back of his head and inhales sharply. His expression grows sheepish. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to tell you the truth. Just tell me. He sighs with a shrug. Alright, I'll tell you if you insist. It's like this, okay? I take field jobs sometimes. I don't like it, but with some gigs, you just gotta be out there in person. This job is closer to home, at least. A runner team in Jakarta has been contacted to steal an animal, but they didn't have a decker. My fixer put us in contact, and there I was, slicing through IC for them. Was it some incredibly rare creature? Semi-rare, I guess. Just rare in Indonesian waters than anywhere else. The hard part was breaking into the zoo. Hold on. You were stealing from a zoo? Sure. I mean, I guess that sounds kind of cold, but where would you go find rare animals? A pet store? The client wanted this particular kind of dolphin. A storm dolphin is what they're called. They cause storms, shoot lightning, drown sailors. They're real jerks, actually. Storm dolphins are jerks. So anyway, I jacked into the water flow control system for the Rangunan Zoo using an unshielded data line by the chimpanzee exhibit. It was set up so this one system controlled the water supply for all the exhibits, pumps, drains, the works. The plan was to hook up a tank of Soma-3 contact anesthetic to the water system, pump it into the storm dolphin tank, and pull them out to sleep. Why not just put one in a bag? And have pissed off weather-controlling dolphins shooting lightning bolts everywhere? She said, no thanks. We didn't want to light up the sky with a Cetacean rendition of Thor storming Jotunheim. So everything's going so fine so far, yeah? I've hacked the injection system that the zookeepers use to keep the water within acceptable pH limits for each tank, and the Soma 3 is going to get piped in. What I didn't realize was that the chimps had woken up and had been getting more and more annoyed that I wasn't paying them any attention. They've been throwing stuff at me for a while. Sticks, bits of bark, stuff like that. Right as I'm about to start the Soma 3 pump, one of the chimps nails me in the head with a damn rock. Worse than that, when it hit me, it broke my cyberdeck lead off my jack. Ouch. Dumb shock to hell and back. That isn't half of it. Since I was halfway through starting the pump sequence when I got dumped, the system thought that I'd given it a half-finished command. So what does it decide I wanted? To clean the dolphin tanks, of course. So it up and opens the service hatches on the side of the tank. Where did those empty out? The walkways, where the team was waiting. Don't ask me why the tank drained into the walkways. It seemed like a terrible design decision. So the rest of the team is suddenly bowled over by a flood of seawater and pissed off man-hitting lightning whales. They came streaming out of that tank like a bunch of rubbery Valkyries, chittering and squeaking into high heaven. All the while, they were blasting the hell out of everything with lightning. Suffice to say, the tobacco wasn't subtle. A mere mercurial laser show probably would have attracted less attention. Within minutes, the cops came screaming into the investigate reports of gunshots and strange lights in the sky. I had to bail out of there as fast as I could. I could swear those storm dolphins were laughing at us too, even while they were flopping around in the concrete. So the team is pissed at you? Everyone's mad at me. The team thinks that I screwed them over, all the storm dolphins got killed, so the police want me for that, and the client wants me dead because I cost him his medicine. Sometimes at night, I still hear the squeaking. Gives me chills. See you later, Levick. Trying to break in any more zoos. Yeah. Good luck with you too. Medical trailer, let's see. Cybernetic machine and a medical kiosk. Got it? I think that'll be okay for now. I think Jomo should... There's Jomo. We'll go ahead and talk with Jomo and then see if we can get any more stuff from him. But also talk to that sergeant and then maybe we can do that mission for the quartermaster. I'm Dragon King Mark, and next time on Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong, that's what we're gonna do. Talk to Jomo, maybe do some side gigs before we go ahead and do some of the Tiger's Den mission. If you like what you all saw, leave a comment down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell icon to stay notified when I'm going to stream, and I'll see all of you next time. Laters. Here's hoping the